Hello once again, this is John Luty from workwithjohnluty.com with a very important audio for you to download today, and this one is all about the powers of decision making and using persistence to achieve your goals. I'm going to start with decision because obviously none of the success and the money we desire is magnetised to us until we actually know what we want, and more importantly we've made a committed decision to have what we want. Now, making a decision, of course, must never be based on I will try, but only if this happens first, etc, etc. I'm sure you understand what I mean. There aren't any tries, ifs or buts on the road to success, and certainly not in real decision making. Now, we all know that sometimes making a decision, especially if it's a change, can be quite scary. The point of this is, if making a decision isn't scary, then that's just telling you, that's your intuition telling you that your goal probably isn't big enough. It needs to be big, and it needs to be scary, and it needs to excite you for it to be worthwhile, okay? The things that shift our consciousness are always a little scary. This is actually a good thing, because it means we're growing and working outside of our old beliefs and our old paradigms. We're building a new paradigm, and this means actually that you're moving forwards and you're moving towards the goals that you've set. Now, there's a single mental move that you can make, that's a single mental move that you can make to help you with this, and it can solve enormous challenges for you in a millisecond. Okay, it's got the potential to improve almost any personal or business situation that you'll come across, that you'll find yourself in, and it can literally fire you down the path to absolutely incredible success. And the name for this mental activity is decision. Now, if you think about it, practically all of the world's most successful people share this quality. If they don't share anything else, this is the one thread that runs through all of them, and that is they make decisions and stick to them. They very rarely change their minds. I once heard a quote from a very good mentor of mine, and this is the quote. This is what I heard him say to me. He once said to me, "The difference between successful people and failures is successful people make decisions quickly and very rarely, if at all, change their minds, whereas failures make decisions slowly and change their minds often." So, which one are you? Are you a successful person or are you a failure? You can make that decision yourself right now by deciding to be a decision maker. Okay? Decisions, if you think about it, decisions or the lack of them are responsible for the breaking or making of many businesses and careers. Individuals who have become very proficient in making decisions without being influenced by outside opinions are probably the same people whose annual incomes are in the 6, 7 and even 8 figure categories. Now, where do you want to be? The person who's never developed this decision making mental strength is relegated to the lower income ranks almost their entire life, and more often than not their life simply becomes a dull, boring existence. However, if you think about it, it's not just your income that's affected by decisions, of course. Your whole life is absolutely dominated by this power. The health of your mind, your body, the well-being of your family, even your social life and the type of relationships you develop are dependent upon your ability to make sound, honest decisions. Most of us won't even make decisions on our own. Many individuals look first to what others will think of their choices. This is not freedom. Only you know what you want, so only you should be the one making decisions about your own life. As long as what you decide isn't hurting yourself or others, then just go for it. Especially if what you're wanting is helping to educate your mind and spirit, then say yes. No one but you knows what is best for you. Now, if you think about this, imagine, you would imagine actually that anything as important as this decision making, especially when it can affect so much in your life, would be taught in schools, but of course it isn't. So, you might now be asking yourself, how am I expected to develop this mental ability? Well, there's an answer for you. You must do it on your own. Now, you've already begun by thinking about and digesting what I'm talking to you about today, of course. This message itself is causing you to become more aware of the importance of your decisions. Now, on the subject of this, I'd like to divulge some information to you. There's actually a very, very important book that I read. It's called Decision Power by Harvey K. That's Harvey, and K is K-A-Y-E. You might look that up on Amazon. It has a subtitle, How to Make Decisions with Confidence, because that is the only way to make decisions. Don't make decisions and then worry about whether you're doing the right thing. It's important to understand it's not difficult to learn how to make wise decisions with the proper information, and by subjecting yourself to certain disciplines, you can become very proficient at making decisions. And remember, it's the people who become effective at decision making who receive a big share of life's rewards. This power of decision and the subject of decision making is definitely a worthwhile subject for you to study, and a discipline, a mental discipline for you to master. Now, don't forget that nobody can see you making decisions, but they can always see the results of your decisions. The person who fails to develop this ability to make decisions is doomed, because indecision sets up internal conflicts which can escalate to all-out mental and emotional wars within you. Now, you don't have to be the brightest person in the world, and you don't actually have to have a degree either to understand that if you're setting up internal conflicts within yourself, your life is going to be difficult, to say the least, because you'll never know how or when to make effective decisions, and of course that will affect your life in various ways, as we've discussed. The person who does permit it to exist, this state of indecision making, can become very despondent and virtually incapable of any type of productive activity. So think about some of the indecisive feelings you and virtually every other person on this planet can or will or does experience almost daily. Okay, leave, stay, do it, don't do it, go to work, watch TV, buy it, don't buy it, tell them, don't tell them. Everyone on occasion has experienced feelings like this. So make decisions based on what you want, and then don't change your mind, and don't let the appearances of other people influence you. If you want it and it's good for you, make that decision and go for it. Right, that's all about decision making. The next bit is equally powerful, and this is all about persistence. This is a very, very powerful lesson, so make note of this. Every entrepreneur or salesperson holds a dream. However, as an entrepreneur or salesperson, you have a great control over your destiny. You alone decide to quit or to continue when the inevitable mountains loom up on the road to your success. Okay, the beautiful aspect of sales, the bit that I like, is that you decide which percent you belong to, because after all, 20%, a general figure, 20% of the salespeople take home 80% of the commissions. So you decide which percentage you belong. Entrepreneurial situation or no, decide right now to be one of those people who make it happen. Be one of the group who receives the lion's share of the profits and career success. Understand though that to join this select group of big producers, you must begin your persistence exercises right now. Make persistence your most well-developed mental muscle. Persistence can't be replaced by any other quality. Superior skills won't make up for it. A well-rounded formal education can't make up for it. Neither will calculated plans or a magnetic personality. When you're persistent, you will become a leader in your industry. Okay, I'd just like to read out a piece from this literature that was written many years ago by a guy called Calvin Coolidge. It's called Persistence, and it goes like this. Nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful people with talent. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and will solve the problems of the human race. The people who never tackle the mountain, who perpetually wander in the foothills most of their lives without even realizing it, have lied to themselves and everyone else who would listen. So often and for so long, they're not even aware of what they're doing anymore. You will hear them say they're content with their lives, they're content with their results, and that climbing a mountain is not important to me. The chances are that actually what's happened is they tried to climb the mountain and failed and are scared to try again, and they've retreated back into their comfort zone. And they justify their average or mediocre performance by saying things to themselves like, why should I go up for this? When I get there, the boss will just want more anyway, so they prefer to stay where they are. Okay? Persistence, persistence, persistence. The dictionary translates persistence to be to continue, especially in spite of opposition or difficulty. Winston Churchill, he gave a very, very famous speech, only consisted of 3 words, and he simply said, never give up, never give up, never give up. So, how do you become persistent? Very good question. It's not developed by accident, and you're not born with it. Persistence is as interwoven with success as the chicken is with the egg. Now, I'm talking about real success here, because ultimately persistence will become to you if you practice it on a daily basis and you learn how to use persistence in the right way. It becomes a way of life. But to start with, to develop it, you must first really desire something. You must truly desire. This must be a burning desire, a passion deep down in your gut. It's an idea that you must fall in love with. Then persistence will be automatic. The very idea of not persisting will become hateful to you, and anyone who might get in your way could be in serious trouble. Difficulties, obstacles, barriers, mountains, obviously they'll appear because they always do, but because of persistence you can defeat them every single time. So, okay, where does this leave you then? Well, it leaves you here. You must decide what you want. Find out what it is that you really want, way down deep, and then go for it. You'll remain, if you don't, you'll remain in the foothills with all the other what if people. And really, you're now moving yourself into the top percentage of thinkers, because very few people actually admit to themselves that this is what they want, this is what I really want, and I'm prepared to give my life up for it. Now, sometimes when you say to somebody, what are you prepared to give to reach your desire? Are you prepared to give your life up for it? They'll say, whoa, what do you mean? Well, if you think about it, whatever you're doing now, you're giving your life for it anyway, so you may as well have a goal, a desire that you want, that you truly want, and then give your life up for that, because it's more worthwhile. So what are you doing? What are you trading your life for? And are you making it a fair trade? So, to conclude, treat this lesson on persistence as your wake-up call, okay? This message on persistence, it's a red-hot message, this. It's on fire. It'll help you get out of the foothills and lead you to the very summit of your mountain. Now remember though, it's not a chairlift. It's not going to make the climb any easier. You'll still attract all the challenges, the necessary challenges, and don't forget they'll come to strengthen you. But this lesson, hopefully, will make the climb, in fact definitely will, make the climb to the top of the mountain a lot more fun, and that's what it's all about. And it will help you develop a strong attitude, a concrete strong attitude, and a certainty, the inner knowing, the feeling deep down inside that you will get to the top. The summit will be yours, and remember, once you get there, the view from the top will be awesome, absolutely awesome, and will be more than enough reward for all of the challenges that you've had to overcome. And you will have to overcome lots of challenges, but they're there to mould you into the person you want to be. When you get to the top, the view will be awesome because of that. So, hopefully you've taken a lot away from this lesson, or these 2 lessons today on decision making and persistence. Keep a lookout in your email box shortly for some more lessons on the law of attraction from John Lutie at workwithjohnlutie.com. Have a great day, and remember, you are awesome.